Welcome to the More Phenomenal Podcast. We talk all things Power Rangers, including action figures, comics, movies. I was going to say books. There's not really Power Ranger books. I already covered that in
Not without
the
pictures.
comics. Yeah. And more. My name's Doug. Joined with my co-hosts Mac and Caitlin. What's going on?
What up, what up, what up?
Not a ton, just chilling. Watch 2 great episods of Power Rangers.
Probably the 2 best episodes of Power Rangers I've ever seen. It's top 5.
It has to be the when I was watching it, I was like, wow, this is like the best crossover they've done. You know, it's better than Forever Red in some ways. You know,
we'll just jump right into it. I only have one piece of news, but we'll talk about that at the end.
Okay.
Operation Overdrive, Once a Ranger.
We're all wearing black for Adam because he's the best.
Mine's blue, but yeah, I'll take it.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Are you sure? It looked black and is.
Yeah.
Is that if I go in the more? Yeah, find some shadows. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm Tori. Is that her name? The Blue Ranger from
Tori's the Blue Ranger. She's great.
Yeah. I'm repping her.
Well, there's 2 Blue Rangers in this episode, technically.
Right.
Both of them are great, actually.
You like Dax?
Yeah. Once a Ranger. It's a 15th anniversary special.
Oh.
We had the questions on it last week. But yeah, just overall thoughts. I forgot how good this was.
It was fun.
I've only seen it once before, so it was really fun to watch it again now, having done the podcast for so long, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was really good. I've actually, while we were waiting to get set up, I was just reading about behind the scenes stuff about it.
Okay.
Because obviously when you're watching it, there's some stuff where I was like I have some questions about that, you know, about some of those choices they had to make, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gosh, it was so good.
This was my first Overdrive. So this is like a fun one to, start with.
They're the only ones worth watching.
Well, the Overdrive got, at least before we watched last week, I had this thought that Overdrive was bad.
I think that it's supposed to be bad. It's like famously not favored amongst fans. Yeah.
But but it's not that bad. We've watched the first 2 episodes.
The first 2 weren't. Yeah, I didn't think the pilot was anywhere near as bad as its reputation. You know.
But I will say, I put up a poll on our Instagram, like thumbs up or thumbs down, and it had way more thumbs up. But it had more thumbs down than I expected.
Right.
Yeah.
Like more than we normally get.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. It was funny because before only having ever seen this 2-parter. And then watching the pilot, it was like, oh, okay, I'm getting a better idea for these characters.
Yeah.
But obviously because this episode is about new Rangers coming in, I think everybody knows that. It's about
the previous Rangers.
The previous Rangers coming in, new old Rangers, that there's going to be this element of the Operation Overdrive team feeling like they're getting pushed out, and that happens in the episode where they're like, oh, there's just no room.
Why am I here now?
Why am I here now if there can't be 2 teams?
Yeah.
And I saw that they had shot a bunch of additional footage of them mulling that over more.
Mm-hmm.
But then they cut it. So the producer of the show said that when he watched the televised version, that he thought it made the Operation Overdrive Rangers look like jerks. Because they were
such a fast decision.
Well, it also doesn't feel like a decision that's in line with the Rangers and their way of thinking. It's never about powers for them. It should never be about oh, I can't be a Ranger just and obviously they learned that in the episode.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny that someone that they pointed that out. I was like, I thought that by the end of it, I didn't think they were jerks. I liked them again, but anyway.
Yeah. I didn't get that vibe because maybe I just give it slack because I know Power Rangers will. They only have so much time in 20 minutes,
Right.
This
and
was a 2-parter,
but yeah.
But yeah. What'd you think?
Yeah.
The theme song I had stuck in my head for a few days.
Theme song was nice. I liked it. I was
The
like
Operation
jamming.
Overdrive theme.
Yeah.
I think that I liked it the most this time seeing it.
Mhm.
And there are parts of it where I think like when you're listening to it, maybe for the first time, it's a little jarring because it's so different than other Ranger seasons.
Mhm.
And then like even within the song, there's a lot of like pitch change and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I was vibing it this time.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
I
know?
liked it.
Operation Overdrive. You know.
Yeah, it's like they couldn't figure out how to say it. They couldn't figure out how to sing it, you know? Like, how are we gonna sing Operation Overdrive? You know, and they tried Operation Overdrive, and they're Operation Overdrive. Like,
Yeah.
just go.
Just mash
Go
them all
Rangers, go
together.
Rangers, go go go. Yeah.
I think the interesting thing about Operation Overdrive is that theme-wise, it's obviously pretty hard to peg down.
Yeah.
Because like when you see their costumes and you hear the name, you might think that it's like car themed or something, vehicle
Mhm.
themed, because they got the
Yeah.
headlights, you know. But that's not really their vibe. They're more like adventurers, you know. Like
Mhm.
they get handpicked like the Lightning or like the Lightspeed Rescue Team, but instead to like do like a more independent mission. Like they kind of feel like I don't know, like it's hard to kind of describe their vibe, but
Yeah.
it's like they go around the world and they're treasure hunters, but they're also spies and superheroes. So it feels kind of cool and superhero-y in that way. Like they
Yeah.
live in a mansion and they have a butler and like
Right.
I kind of like
I
that
forgot
kind of
about the
stuff is
butler.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I had a butler that gave me freshly buttered toast.
Yeah.
Yeah, like also like Bridge, you're from the future. That's your favorite food is buttered toast. I don't like buttered
Yeah.
toast. Anyway,
Yeah.
I guess they make him eat Skittles for lunch in SPD. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
I like how there's like different segments of villains in this one that I didn't really
Yeah, like
follow.
3 different teams.
I just
Yeah.
remembered they're all after the Corona Aurora, which Corona, very
I
timely
know, that was
word, I
very on
guess.
par.
Yeah.
Yeah, two very cool words.
Yeah.
But the main, like, this is episode 20 and 21 of the season, so for there to be it made a lot of sense for there to be so many villains, and it was like it felt like they were lucky to have it set that far in the season because they can be
Yeah.
like, oh, here's this alliance.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to feel, because it's not like they were doing an alliance with the previous Rangers seasons. Like that would have been cool too to see those
Yeah.
earlier villains come back, but they really have some cool looking villains in Operation Overdrive.
Yeah,
you know?
but they hate each other. The villains
Yeah.
like hate each other.
Yeah.
And they're only brought to an alliance because of Rita and Zed's creepy looking son.
Thrax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of him?
He's
I-
creepy.
I like that he's
couldn't-
creepy.
He's super creepy. He looks really cool. And you have
Yeah.
to give like the American production team a lot of credit because obviously he was their invention. So
Mhm.
like that's like, I mean, as far as I
No,
know,
he
he
looked
was
cool. He
Yeah.
was
He
just creepy.
Yeah.
very well. But then I couldn't stop thinking about when was he born?
Yeah.
You know, because it was like he's old enough to look like a zombie, but his parents, like, you know, we knew them like what 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and like you've had this whole career as a villain where like the Sentinel Knight is like waged war against
Maybe
you.
he time jumps or something.
I think that he was probably born like 100 years ago. You know,
Yeah.
like that would be my guess, because like
Was he born out of wedlock?
yeah, I think he was. I'm pretty sure Zed and Rita.
Yeah, because
had
they get
him-
married in season 2 or 3, right? In Power
Yeah,
Rangers?
exactly.
Okay.
But do they meet for the first time in Mighty Morphin? Does Zed and Rita meet for the first
I
time?
was just thinking that I feel like she knows who he is,
I
right?
thought she'd already known Zed. Yeah,
Drama.
because it's also like, well, dude, you're young, obviously. Like, how old could you possibly be? This is the 15th anniversary of Power Rangers.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like, but then also at the same time, you spent X amount of time like imprisoned on the moon, like your mom.
Well,
In the same thing?
Does time move the same way as like is it only 15 years later?
Well, yeah,
in
because
Power Ranger universe?
because Adam's there.
Adam
right?
looked,
That's
yeah.
true, that's true.
So like, so it's kind of silly because he should
but they
be
brought
younger
them
than
from
Adam.
time, didn't he? Oh no, that's
Bridge-
just SPD.
Yeah, Bridge is from the future. I don't know. It made me think that like he had to have some kind of like either born in the past or like time travel shenanigans, like you're saying. Because it's like I don't.
They
What are you,
probably
10
didn't
and you're in
expect
prison?
anyone to ask that question.
Yeah, I don't know. They probably like, and also they become good guys by the end of Mighty Morphin. You know,
Well,
so
that's
it
what
would
they
have had.
said later that was their fault. That was what he assumed was their failure was by
Right.
turning good.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know they turned good at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Spoiler.
Rita is a character in Mystic Force. She's the mystic.
Oh,
She's the
right. You
mystic
guys said
mother.
that.
Yeah,
And
I forgot about that.
and Xander doesn't even bring it up.
Maybe
You know,
he's not their real child. Maybe he's adopted. Maybe he was adopted during their evil sieging.
yeah, maybe he does kind of look like he'd be their kid. You
I
know,
don't know.
maybe
I'm
has-
trying to make something make sense.
He has
I don't know.
some Rito. He got the
He got
Rito
some
side.
Rito vibes.
Yeah.
I also like his like communicator that he sent out to the villains to create his evil alliance.
Oh yeah, it's,
Like
it's
it
Giant
looks like
Z.
him. Yeah, it has a Z, and it has like his dad's like flesh and chrome vibe, you know.
Yeah.
And so I was like, when I first saw the crossover, I didn't think he was in it. Like I didn't know about Thrax, but like having like paying close attention to that communicator, it's like, well, obviously it's going to be somebody close to Zed. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, but
That was really funny.
I got to pull up my notes because I took a bunch of notes this week.
Oh no.
Anyway.
Okay, so it looks like Rita and Zed did know each other because according to Ranger Wikipedia that I'm glancing over, so I could be wrong in how I'm interpreting this.
Yeah.
It looks like he is the one who, wait, did Goldar? Yeah, he didn't have wings because it says here that Zed's the one who took his wings away
Right.
before, I guess, the show would have started. But did he had wings in the first season, right?
Yeah, he had wings in the first season, but he couldn't fly with them, I guess.
Oh, so did Lord Zed then take his wings away?
He probably took the wings away when he partnered him up with Rito, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know for damn, we're the worst podcast about Power Rangers. We don't know.
Where's podcast?
Yeah.
Well, the only podcast I know of about Power Rangers, so
I did have to say, I maybe it's something I missed from Mighty Morphin, and maybe that's why we say it. But in the second part,
yeah.
Adam says it's more phenomenal, and I went,
Yeah.
I know. I wondered when we would bring that up, but yeah, Adam yelling more phenomenal was great. It's mostly like a Kimberly thing, so it was cool to have Adam say it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know if anyone else said it, and so when he said it, I was like, that's
That's
what
us. Yeah.
That's us.
We should put
We
that
were in
clip
the
on
episode.
YouTube.
I know. I saw an interview with him once where he was like, "Why am I saying this? This makes no sense. I've never said this before." And like, what does it mean? I just blew this guy up. That's more phenomenal. Like he was questioning it. But
There's
we
a
love
couple
it.
things. I saw that Johnny Young Bosch wanted Adam to die,
Yeah.
Oh,
but he wanted Adam to die in that in space team up with Carlos too. Like he's like every time he comes back, he's like, "Hey, well, let's kill Adam," and the producers are like, "No, like we're not going to do that."
He's like
keep Adam safe.
He's
Yeah.
the Han Solo. Harrison Ford is like, "Can you just kill him?" You know?
Just kill me. Just kill me. Yeah, it's like, oh no, this is a kid show. People don't die. They get imprisoned on the moon or turned into orbs of light. You don't get to die.
Yeah.
Poor Adam.
Unless we're over you, like that one Pink Ranger in Lost Galaxy. But
Well, she turned into an orb of light. So
yeah.
yeah, it's like those are your options.
Yeah.
But
there's getting back to the episode. Yeah, he summons all these villains, and I like how the first battle is just the villains like stealing a crystal for no reason. Like it doesn't even seem like that it's important.
Yeah.
they stole the wrong thing, and she's like, "What am I supposed to do with this priceless ruby?" And she's like, "I'll keep it."
I'll keep it.
I just like that it was sort of showing that they're not doing so hot on their own. I guess you know
Yeah.
they kind of need that
Show that
Thrax.
they're failing as villains.
I liked that team of the cool blue guy with the fur collar,
yeah.
and
He's
then,
awesome.
and then the girl.
his
Yeah.
ninja girl, who's like that character is in every Disney season. You know?
Yeah.
It's
So
go ahead.
okay, I was just gonna name them off. It's
Okay.
that group is cool.
Yeah.
Love Mustache Man.
Oh, you mean like the snow miser guy?
Yeah, with
and his adorable Yeti sidekick? Yeah.
Poor little. I love the Yeti.
They're great. And he's actually like a good actor. That mustache villain guy. He like his delivery kind of like he was cool. I thought.
Yeah, I like him.
Snow
And I
miser.
remember from what I remember from the Yeti, that was just his base that the bad guy took over, right? The Yeti.
Yeah, he just lived there. Yeah, but he's just adorable and innocent, and he's like, "Hello," like, yeah. And he's like the Goldar kind of.
Yeah,
he's not the Goldar. He's like the squat, but not at all evil at all.
My favorite line is when the delivery box arrives for the Snow Miser guy. He goes, "Oh, it looks like a box."
It looks like a box. I love when the Yeti dude lands in the snow and then he pulls his head out and is a giant ice cube.
Yeah.
It's like, how does that even happen? How cold is that snow? Like, you live in this cave. Yeah, how are you still breathing?
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I'm an ice cube.
There's the red guy who's the villain of the snow guy. They were like brothers.
He's the fire guy, right?
Yeah, he's the fire
miser.
Yeah. There's a heat miser and a cold miser.
Yeah.
And then Santa Claus.
Yep. And then there's the two like red or black ninja looking dudes.
And the wolf ninja guys too.
Yeah.
Right?
Wolf ninja
guy? There's like those two.
Like
or maybe he's like a cat? I don't know.
He like had fuzzy thing ears.
One of the dudes that attacks Stonehenge has like a wolf face.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are the two guys I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like a wolf. Like a werewolf.
I do like the global aspect of Operation Overdrive. It's cool to think that they can go to different countries and they can go around the world whenever they want. Like the having Stonehenge show up was cool. Obviously, you just need a field and a bunch of fiberglass rocks for that.
Yeah.
And then in the second episode, like when all the Rangers are back to their old lives, except for Mac, it like the Yellow Rangers in Monaco and the Blue Rangers actually in New Zealand because he like filmed movies there. So I thought that was kind of cool to be like, wow, it doesn't take a lot to just put a new country's name at the bottom, but it makes a big difference for me. I'm like,
Yeah. First time they go back to Angel Grove in like forever, it seems like.
I read it was the first appearance of Angel Grove since Lost Galaxy's premiere when they all left Angel Grove to go to space.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So the Thrax's plan, he's released. He says he's been captured for centuries, but it can't be true if he's like
same dumpster. I just love that like Sentinel Knight was like, I know what to do with you. On the moon.
Maybe because the moon orbits differently, maybe that makes time different on the moon.
Nah, because Rita, she's up there every day,
Yeah, Rita lives there after she was in prison there.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to make the time sequence make sense.
Yeah. He must be from the future.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Or else that RV was a rockin' when they were when they were living in that RV
Oh right. Yeah. Oh, that must have been awkward for everyone who lived in the RV.
Yeah, everyone
they had to listen to Zed and Rita. Yeah. Maybe they conceived him after they got rudely woken up in the Turbo movie.
Yeah.
Like, I can't go back to sleep now.
Wake up.
Come on, Zed, shift into turbo.
So his plan is to destroy the Rangers, right? Because he hates Sentinel Knight.
Well, I like how he's like, let's team up and defeat the Rangers. And they're like, come on, that's not going to work. And then it like totally works.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't really take much, like just a bit of a villain team up and you're kind of kicking ass. Like you're basically
you may have sucked by yourselves, but altogether you're an organic villain.
Right, exactly. And if like this brilliant plan of bringing in more Rangers hadn't worked out, then they would have won. They covered their connection to the morphing grid. Like that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that fight was cool too.
Great fight.
I thought that all the fighting was great.
All the fights were great.
Yeah,
and it's good because, or like, I always got to give these ones props because they actually had to film this. They're not pulling footage from anywhere else,
Right. The the Sentai that they pulled footage from for this it wasn't like it had the Operation Overdrive guys and various Sentai guys, but it wasn't like this. You know, it definitely took some effort.
Yeah. I like how all the Rangers, so they go there, they have a cool fight. A lot of wire work in these ones.
Yes, a lot of wire work. Sometimes
Lots of
it's
flips.
good.
Yeah, lots of flips.
Mostly it looks cool, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it looked good.
It did get to the point where I was like, okay, this was probably my least favorite fight because I knew these guys were going to have to go down the Rangers. And it kind of got a little tiny bit repetitive because
each person,
each one had to like stand, have the fire blown up behind them and like do a flip or something.
I was thinking the same thing. It was like, just have them all go down at the same time.
I thought that the Stonehenge reprisal fight was more repetitive in my opinion. Like I didn't like.
That's a good point.
Well, because like they literally all do the same move, which is just to bum rush them in their vehicle and then get flipped. You know,
it almost came off like we're gonna put in as many fight scenes as we can since this is a big episode. I have to say the only fight scene that I actually enjoyed was the final one. But I do agree. I thought the same thing. A lot of the first couple fights were just like lots of wire work and explosions and people falling.
It was
fun they
to
were
see
losing.
them.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it was fun to see them how each one got taken out in the air. Like, okay, they're gonna go up. Who is gonna get kicked? Is gonna get splashed? Like, what's gonna happen?
I did like that the Pink Ranger immediately just was in a Zord.
She's
like, I'm not messing around, you know. But then it didn't seem to make any difference. Like she immediately got like slapped out of the Zord. It was like, so I think that was almost frustrating for me or the most frustrating part because it felt like they were approaching the fight logically, like, oh, we're losing, so let's up the scale. But then it made the same like difference. Like they just kept getting, it didn't do anything. And I was like, but you're bigger, you know? And then when they fought with their, no, I was gonna say when they fought with their powers at Stonehenge, because like Mac's dad is like, you still have superpowers. And Mac, you don't know this yet, but you're literally an android who can't die. So go fight these guys. Because he doesn't have a real son. He built a son like Pinocchio. So spoiler alert. So when they go to Stonehenge and they're like, okay, we got our powers. It's the same thing where I'm like, yeah, you're trying to show that you still are in the fight, but like your powers aren't like, I wish it had maybe been like a little bit of give and take, you know, where like maybe Mac gets like one punch in and then loses. Yeah. But it felt like having superpowers didn't give them an edge at all.
Yeah.
No, it was like just because all the villains are together, it suddenly makes all of them like powerless. Like
it's like the villains like took their blinders off and could focus on the fight. And they're like, oh, I'll just dodge now. I can dodge. And like, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I did like in the first fight, I think it was the Black Ranger. He gets like dropped on a car that explodes. Do you remember this? Yeah. I was like,
when the Black Ranger got like smacked into the wall and then like he got smacked into the wall so hard that he bounced back and then Drax punched him. I was like, whoa, you're really getting beat up, dude. Anyway, they really lose.
I do like the suits.
The Operation Overdrive suits?
Yeah.
I do too, but like of course, a bunch of like even better suits have to cameo in this episode. like it was like, oh, these guys look so cool. The Dino Thunder and the Ninja Storm costumes are so cool. Like I was like, you can't deny that Kira looks awesome. Yeah. Whenever she does like her backflip and you see all the white diamonds on the side of her costume, I feel like she looks so awesome. But
yeah,
I think the only one that was distracting for me was the green one.
With the cape?
Yeah, the cape. I was like, why do you have a cape? Like,
they're wizards. They're wizards, Caitlin. Okay.
Well, when they first arrived, it didn't make sense that they were all from different teams at first. I was like, because I don't know all the costumes very well yet. So all of a sudden, I was like, why does the Green Ranger only have a cape? And then I was like looking at all of them and I was like, wait a second, that's Mighty Morphin. Wait a second. Oh, they're all different. But I was like, why do you still have a cape?
It was funny too. I'm glad they picked Xander because he's probably the best character in Mystic Force.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, their costumes definitely like contrast a little silly with the cape.
Yeah.
And the...
It just like I was like, oh, we're superheroes now.
Well, he kind of has like a Sailor Moon vibe or something with like the scepter and everything,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
I read somewhere that what was I going to say about Xander? Something kind of funny. I can't remember. It'll come to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So they get their powers taken away, and then we'll just jump into it. And then the cooler Rangers. So Sentinel Knight is like, I got an idea. I'll be back.
I'll be back.
And he just brings this team of this killer team together.
It's such a good team, and it's kind of funny because like obviously Adam really sells the team when you realize that everyone else is from a Disney season, so it kind of feels like, oh, this is like the last 5 years of Rangers plus Adam, you know, which without that I feel like it would have felt maybe like not as impressive. But really what sold their introduction for me was using their themes as they were showing up. Damn, that was sweet. Like when the SPD theme drops, like and then like Bridge just walks out, but he's the Red Ranger, so he gets to do that cool like swipe with the pistol. You know? Like the SPD Red Ranger just gets to be nothing but cool all the time because like, his theme is 2 pistols. So like let that like, so if he's not John Woo, he's like a cowboy, you know. So yeah, he gets it's cool that it's Bridge too. That's kind of the thing I was trying to look up was like, why did it have to be Bridge as the Red Ranger? Because Caitlin, he's the Green Ranger in SPD.
Which he explains
it.
He
explains it.
That.
Yeah. But then like I looked it up and I couldn't find an answer. I couldn't find the answer to that. But
I think it's because he's the most popular of that season.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
They were like, here, just take this color for right now.
Yeah.
Well, I wondered if it had to do with like what actor was available.
Yeah.
No, I think it's purely he was the most popular. He is the most popular. Right? Yeah.
Well, when he explained it too, it made sense. I'm like, oh yeah, Doggy Kruger got promoted, so Sky got promoted, and Jack was already gone. So like, you know,
explained it though, because the reaction of all the Power Rangers was my reaction. I was like, wait, there's a dog and
my boss who's a dog. Yeah.
Like, what?
That was great. All of his dialogue was funny. It made me want to like hang out with the Once a Ranger team more. I'm like, these guys are great. Like, what do they do for fun? Like, I bet Tori and Kira would be buddies. You know.
Got my Red Ranger now, my SPD guy.
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
I want to get him, but just put Bridge's head on there.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I forgot that they became like the stand-in team. Like it wasn't just
but the way that
one-off.
the friggin' Knight guy says it, he's like, so yeah, these are the new Rangers and you are no longer Rangers. And they're like, what?
I love that because like, of course, when the Rangers show up to save them, they're excited. You know, like even Dax says it perfectly. When you guys showed up, I was so happy. And then when you stayed, I was sad. You know, like you know.
I was not happy, and now that you're leaving, I'm sad.
Now that you're leaving, I'm sad.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was so. I was like, yeah, that's the roller coaster. Like they showed up and they saved you.
The entire show right there.
That's the entire show. But then, like, oh, you guys are replacing us. Like, I thought that was even kind of jarring. I'm like,
yeah. Like
don't
I could have said until we figure out our situation.
He was like, we're giving up on Operation Overdrive.
I don't blame the guys for leaving after that. I'm like, well, the Sentinel Knight guy just told me I'm not a Power Ranger anymore, so I guess I'm just gonna go be being human.
Well, plus think about how, like, except for Mac, they all had such impressive lives to get back to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like by like professional race car driver or like art thief, you know, or whatever. And like meanwhile, Max is like, I gotta sweep the floor of my rich dad's laboratory. Like, but I'm helping. I don't know. I'm a robot. Like,
and he was like, he's like, oh, you're still here. It's like this is my home.
Where am I gonna go? I live here.
Sentinel Knight is like, oh, you're sweeping. And he's like, well, anything to help a little bit. I'm like, honestly, dude, if you had come back and this floor hadn't been swept, I don't think Adam would have said anything.
Yeah.
I feel like he probably would have been fine.
Look at this mansion, and there's dust on it.
Yeah, it's like, excuse me, but I have to be very careful about my white gloves and boots. Can you get this place spick and span?
No, I think probably what we didn't see is the butler off screen being like, I already did that.
That's my job. Yeah.
I'm just giving him something to make him feel better.
Yeah.
Master Mac actually can sweep for shit. He actually can't do any chores. He was raised with a silver spoon in his mouth. He's literally a coddled rich teenage robot.
Yeah.
Every time I see the dad too, I think about how in the first episode he was going to be the Red Ranger and he didn't want Mac to be the Red Ranger.
No, he didn't want Red. He's like, I will be the Red Ranger.
And I look at him every time and I'm like, you would have been killed.
He's such a weird dude too. This like mix between Indiana Jones and Tony Stark. And I'm like, what is your vibe? Like,
what are you?
What are you? Yeah. You built a robot son that you hate. Like, like anyway. Speaking of robot sons that people hate.
Yeah.
Like, why would you put Alpha in a box?
Yes. Yeah. Like he's in a freaking Indiana Jones storage locker
in Angel Grove.
Giant lightning bolt. I'm sorry, but if I was working at that storage unit and I saw a box with a giant lightning bolt, I would have opened it.
Yeah, and it's like, first of all, Alpha shouldn't be in a box in Angel Grove. Last time we saw him, he was on Miranoi. If anything, he should be in a box on freaking Terra Venture or in the Astro Omega ship or something. Like, is he?
This was 6. Is that the same one?
Alpha 6. Well, it would be the same Alpha because they just get upgraded, right?
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like, but they don't explain the voice change or anything. I just felt like it was so mean because it's like Alpha is a sentient being, like.
So he just sat in a box for 15 years.
Yeah. He could work at a Silicon Valley tech startup or something. You don't need to keep him in a box.
Just imagine if you worked there though, and every so often you would hear this like robotic, quiet voice somewhere in the boxes.
Who's there? Yeah. Kimberly.
Day
is that you?
4065.
Yeah. The Rangers will come back soon. I know it.
You're like, that storage unit's haunted.
Yeah, there were like putties in there for some reason.
Is that? I was about to say, what else was in there? Were there putties in there?
They weren't putties, but they were like Thrax's goons that kind of look like putties.
You mean when they attacked them.
Yeah.
What else do you think is in the boxes?
Probably all the turbo cars. And
that's where they keep the Megazords. It's all been a lie.
Yeah, the Megazords are there. But I don't know. It just felt like an error that Alpha would get stuck there. Like even at the end when Adam is like, all right, let's go back to Angel Grove, Alpha. Like, I could use some help in my dojo.
Yeah.
Anything's better than the crate.
Yeah, it's like, let him do clerical work at your dojo, Adam. You knew he was there the whole time. It was your idea to go get him. Like were you just thinking about, like, Adam was just laying awake at night, every night in bed, like, man, I hope someone gets Alpha out of that box. And then finally, he just had a motivation to do it.
Honestly, I could see Andros just being like, well, we're done. Put him in the box.
I know. Andros would so do that. He'd be like, well, now that I have no one to like look at me and make me feel shame, I'm going to get rid of Alpha. Like, I'm just going to go back to being a jerk. Like him and Ashley didn't work out, I guess,
Yeah.
I like how they all kind of were like what they do. And Xander's just like works at the CD store or whatever.
He works at a rock climbing place, I thought.
Oh, is that what he said?
Oh, or maybe it was at a CD store, but I thought he said something about like a rock climbing place. But
and then that blonde one was just like wandering through the hills.
I didn't get that. Yeah, their Sixth Ranger, their Silver Ranger was like, does he just have no purpose in life? He's just walking into the woods. He's like, is that where he's gonna go to die? Like,
I don't know. I was curious about that too. I didn't know his deal.
It felt like they were kind of going for that like loner wanderer vibe, or something. But he didn't even have a backpack or anything. I'm like, at least give him like a rucksack. Yeah, like even if you gave him like a bedroll or something, I could imagine that he's like roughing it, but
like, anyway. I'm out seeking the world.
Right, being a mysterious samurai guy. But instead it was like
nomad.
And his weapon's a freaking metal detector?
Yeah.
That has to be like the most random object that's ever become a Power Rangers weapon.
Yeah.
So this is pretty much the end of the episode. I thought that their last fight was good. But I before we get too far, I did want to mention that the Once a Ranger team's unmorphed fight in the storage unit, I thought was like my favorite fight in the episode.
That was a good fight. Yeah, that was a solid fight.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part was, and I don't know what his name is, but I think it was the blonde one. But he was on the crate, and he was, I don't know. Not
keep going.
Okay, it was one of them. I don't know who it was.
He was
but
on the
he
crate.
was just doing like backflips.
Oh
like, on the crate. Just
bridge.
Like, 5 backflips, and then like the little like, well, they weren't really putties.
We just call them.
We just call them putties.
Yeah.
The putties were just like,
yeah,
as if they were afraid of a backflip.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I didn't put this together, but rereading the like synopsis for the episode, Adam's the only one who doesn't have out of costume powers.
Yeah, because that wasn't a trope yet, you know.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. Like he has to fight old school, and then he mentions that.
Yeah, I didn't get that line at first, and he's like, "Nothing like the old school," or "It still works that way." I was like, "What?" But that makes sense because he didn't have powers like everyone else did.
When Kira's fight was my favorite. She does like this really cool move and then like kicks a bunch of guys' butts and then like does a backflip into her Black Canary cry. I was like, oh, you got the coolest power. Like your power's awesome.
Yeah. She's the coolest from that season.
Yeah, she's the best. She's like one of the best Yellow Rangers.
Oh yeah, and then she mentions that Dr. O and Adam's like, I can't believe that guy's a doctor.
Yeah, I can't believe he's a doctor.
I got that.
Meanwhile, I just have a dojo like every other former Power Ranger.
I'm so glad I got that reference from just because of the episode we watched a few weeks ago with Tommy. I was like, I would have never gotten who Dr. O was.
Right. I know that was good timing. That was good timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I got any other. Oh, when Bridge throws Mac the pistols, that was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, during the final fight.
That was cool because he was like, "You get to look cool too for a second."
Yeah. One of the plot points of this episode with getting
the sword
is Mac's like, I can do it. I can do whatever, sweeping. You can do more than that. So I feel like he's like, oh, well, Thrax wants this sword. Let's just go get it ourselves. And they're like, no, it's too dangerous. He's like, well, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, Sentinel Knight's like, it's too dangerous. And he's like, yeah, I'm a robot with super strength. I'm gonna do it.
So he goes to get the sword. Yeah. And, he goes to visit the school first.
He goes to talk to the Pink Ranger, and he's like, dude, just take her with you.
Yeah. He was like, hey, do you know anything about the Excelsior? And she's like, oh yeah, we have some books on it. He goes like, great. And then he walks away and she's like,
Yeah, if you don't want
what's going on, and he's like, I gotta go. Bye.
Yeah. If you don't want to take her to the rainforest, at least bring her to the library she works at. She has to go in that library every day. She's a teacher. She
could probably find it a lot faster than you could.
And she's a professional researcher. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And she was so happy to see him.
Yeah,
it was a little rude.
I was like, Mac, what are you going to bring to the table? Your years of coddling? Like, you don't have anything. You don't have any practical information.
Yeah.
But
and then he instantly falls in a ditch.
Yeah, freaking pitfall style. I like his like improvised lasso with the vine and the bone. And it's like, you have super strength, man. Like, just jump, just punch holes in the walls until you make freaking like ladders.
And then he also runs into a trap because, of course, the bad guy is following the idiot.
Yes, Thrax shows up.
Okay, he's not really an idiot, but not taking anyone else, that's kind of a dumb move.
Yeah.
When Thrax shows up too, and he's like, the sword is mine. And then like the rest of the Rangers are like, we're here to help. The next scene is so weird where they're just watching Thrax try and they're just standing there. And I'm like, are you not going to try to beat him up or anything? like what's the point of you all being there? But then if Sentinel Knight, or of course it's because they know he can't lift it. Like, oh, you didn't do your research.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This was the part kind of freaked me out. I was taken aback when they all, as a team put the hand on the sword and they pull off.
Oh, and the statue comes to life.
The statue comes to life.
That was creepy. That was so creepy.
It did make me jolt back watching it because I did not expect that.
Yeah, that was
It
like
was
Doctor Who
weird.
stuff. Yeah, that
It it was like a weeping angel.
yeah, I would have been freaked out if I was there. I was like, oh no, don't talk to me.
Well, I think my favorite part is when Thrax couldn't get it. His immediate next plan B was, well, then I'm just gonna destroy everything. Like such a tantrum right there.
Yeah.
When they go ahead.
Oh, that's so funny. And then she gives him the sword, and of course, like every Power Ranger thing, it turns into like what looks like a toy.
Yeah. It's like, this isn't plastic and round enough. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
When Mac shows up with the sword, though, and he's like, don't worry, guys, I got this. It was kind of cool to see a whole new Ranger team piloting a Megazord that wasn't theirs.
Yeah, that was cool.
We didn't get to see them, like, suit up in it, which sucked. We didn't even get to see them, like, show up to the fight. They were just losing the fight when Mac gets there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the only Ranger whose name I remember because it's my name. When he jumps, he does the freaking giant jump and slash. And like, what Ranger hasn't fantasized about doing that to a giant Rita monster at the end of the episode? You know, like, I could just jump up there and cut him in half. It's like, no, you can't. We got to get in the Megazord, you know. But then he just did it. It's like, see how far you can jump? You didn't need that rope.
Yeah.
I can picture.
You could have just jumped yourself out of a friggin' ditch.
You could have cleared the whole rainforest with that jump.
You're right. I could see Adam just being like, dude, we know we can do that. We have to destroy it so it blows up. Now we got to clean up this giant half of a.
Yeah, now there's two halves of a monster. He gets resurrected too, but then that doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
I was like, why?
But that's when the snow miser guy, he was like, his best line, he was like, if you've fought the Power Rangers, then you always know, have a plan B. Like, wow,
yes,
very wise for a villain.
Yeah, because the plan B is make my monster grow. So I liked how they like that. He's like, no, I thought of something after that. Like this is like I'm good at this.
Yeah. And then they get their powers back because of Alpha. And then they have a giant.
What would Zordon do?
Alpha really sells the crossover, in my opinion, because like it shows, like it's what gives it that like 15th anniversary vibe. Yeah. Like if it had just been Adam alone, like that still would have been cool, but like Alpha really sold it for me.
Yeah. I forgot he was in this.
Yeah. It was a nice little treat.
Yeah.
He goes into the morphin grid. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's like, I've never done it.
But
yeah,
we'll
we barely even get to see it. Like, I didn't know it looked like the inside of a coaxial cable or something.
Yeah. Maybe their port. I don't know, the one he designed. But going back, I like how Mystic Force's weapons are boxing gloves.
His are awesome.
What was that? What was that?
Well, in Mystic Force, their signature powers and stuff are a little bit more campy because they're all about magic. Mm-hmm. So, like, I think that
like boxing gloves is what we came to.
Yeah, you just make them like poof, and then it's and it's not even like they're not even green.
I thought I saw something. Like I thought I had like seen it wrong. I was like, "There's no way he has boxing gloves on." I was like, "Power Rangers can't get to that level." And
still better than a metal detector.
Yeah.
But it really was boxing gloves. Yeah.
I like the boxing gloves. I like Xander's whole gimmick with the cape, and he's just punching away like I don't know.
he's lucky too to get. He's the only actor in it that gets to use his New Zealand accent.
Yeah.
And all of the Operation Overdrive team and most of the team and the other that shows up in this episode are also from New Zealand. And like I call it Operation Overacting. Because like you can tell that like for a lot of them they have to really kind of put on a persona to cover their accent because it takes so much work. Like they slip up a lot. I feel like Max slipped up a lot, but
yeah. The only two things I have of note is I like when they go back to the regular jobs and the Blue Ranger is a stunt double and he just gets left on the cable after the scene.
Yeah, that was funny. That was his best joke in my opinion.
Yeah. And then the second is I like how Adam used like a shield thing. He was just like,
he used the Operation Overdrive shield. They don't even explain how he has it. And
I like to think he talked to the dad and he was like, Tommy has a shield. Jason got a shield. You know.
It's like even
Hook me up.
Zach wore one once.
Yeah.
Like, where's my shield?
Yeah. So I thought that was cool.
I think my favorite part was in the final battle when they all morph. It was each one did their signature. And I don't know why. I just thought that was kind of like fun. That was I like that.
It was cool, and everybody's was like quick enough that I felt like it flowed well,
and it wasn't like overdone.
It wasn't overdone, and the Operation Overdrive morphing sequence is pretty sweet. I like the like grabbing the thing and then like sliding it down the arm. I think that looks cool.
And they like spins in their hand.
And it spins in their hand first. Yeah, there's a lot of flair in that one, and you know you gotta love that.
Yeah. Adam gets an updated morph. He does like a backflip, right? And
So I read that they didn't use any of the footage from Mighty Morphin or his theme, even though they could have. Like it was technically Disney could have. Like they had no reason not to.
Which is weird. He's the only one who doesn't have his theme. He gets like a made up theme.
You think he gets a made up theme? Yeah, but I saw someone point out that like that theme was used in the Dino Thunder episode that we watched. So it doesn't really make any sense that like it doesn't really make any sense that they would choose to omit it. But yeah, it does give him kind of this like vibe of being separated from Mighty Morphin.
Yeah.
You know, but
and I looked back. He doesn't say Mastodon or like Black Ranger power. He doesn't. Yeah. It's morphin time.
Everyone morphs at the same time.
Yeah.
I saw that in the Danish dub they make him yell Mastodon.
Oh.
But that's it.
Was there here?
Yeah. I guess they're just more hardcore there.
Yeah. Those Danish people.
They're fans.
They also put in the Mighty Morphin theme, and they, I don't know.
Yeah, they were really authentic about it. Yeah,
Billy cameoed.
Billy cameoed. Yeah, Alpha was still alive the whole time. He was never in a box. But yeah.
I don't think I have anything else to say except it was awesome. Thrax gets killed at the end, right?
Thrax?
Yeah, I think so, because the night guy comes back.
He gets killed twice.
Yeah.
Adam kills him, and then Sentinel Knight comes back, and he comes back and he kills him.
But even though he gets killed twice, there is sort of this sense of like, I'll defeat you next time. Kinda, And I'm like, we're never going to see Thrax again, but I kind of wish we would because he's awesome.
Yeah, he's cool looking too. Great thumbs up. I liked how this one, the Rangers go through an arc. A lot of these different team up episodes, it's like, hey, that guy's back, and they fight 100 monsters.
Yeah, or like one team is back and they're evil, and then they have to fight the good team.
Yeah.
And
this was like this was like almost like a very it's like an episode, I guess 2 episodes about growth, like really finding that it's not just about the power.
Yeah.
Well, it was interesting too. Like the second that they don't have powers, they want to go back to being celebrities in their own private worlds, But really, they realize that like heroism is so much about self-sacrifice.
Yeah, because they were all missing something when they went back to their world. They're like, the guy that's the art thief. He just looks at his paycheck and he's like,
Well, even in the beginning of the first one, they mentioned that like their lives used to be exciting, but it's nothing compared to saving the world every day.
Yeah.
That's something that's different. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Oh, you really miss, I don't know, piloting a giant Zord every day. You miss feeling like you could, you have this like super powerful energy source at your fingertips, and you can summon weapons out of thin air and like I'll do all the other kind of crazy stuff. But I mean, like being a professional race car driver is pretty sweet too. So I don't know.
And you get a giant trophy.
Yeah, in the first episode, her trophy has her morpher in it or something. So that's why she looks in it all sad when she's like,
I thought so.
Yeah.
It was like there must have been something
or maybe it was like her invitation, but it was something like that. Yeah.
Thumbs up. Best Power Rangers episodes. Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Speaking of Mystic Force, we had an episode recommendation, so we'll be watching Mystic Force next week.
More Xander. Yeah.
Sweet. The last bit of news I had, very small, or big, depending on your level of excitement, but Power Morphicon is moved to 2022. Which
okay, I mean, so they're officially counting on it being 2022.
Yeah, so I think it's.
I saw they were doing it virtual though.
Really? Oh, Maybe I
That's
missed
what
that.
it said.
Caitlin more than know than me. Yeah.
I just clicked on the link that you posted and I saw that they were doing it.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I thought they said they were doing it virtual, and I said, "Oh, that's cool."
It makes sense. Virtual panels aren't that hard to do. You'd think they would just get everyone together, you know? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, in person,
what's the con called?
Power Morphicon.
Power More. I'm just gonna check because I feel like that's what they said.
You're probably right. That makes sense. But yeah, I think it's in I think it's in LA, right?
Yeah. So, it will not be safe to do the Power Morphicon. So we're postponing it to Pasadena in 2022. But in spite of the event being postponed, it will be hosting a virtual event in June 2021, and with virtual PMC and online panels, meet and greets, autographs, and more.
Ooh. Okay.
Nice.
Great. So I want to take part in that.
Yeah. Cool. I'm sure news week that week will be big. Sweet. Until next week, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enjoy your Power Rangers for the next
week.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I know.
And then Mighty Morphin all the way.
Here we go.
I'll have to watch Mystic Force like soon.
Yeah. Right. Watch every episode you love.
Well, will we have time to? We'll have time. Yeah, we don't. We'll be able to see it before the end of the month because yeah. Okay, never mind. Great. Okay,
cool. Until next week, it's not less phenomenal. It's more phenomenal.
Best Adam quote. It's an Adam quote.
Yeah. Adam's becoming my favorite man.
Yeah, I know. He's the best.
I liked Adam. He was great. He
was my number 2 favorite, but like I don't know. He's more
pushed to number 1.
Well, no, I can't imagine that for you.
No.
Right.
Tommy has that like he would be if Tommy didn't have that nostalgic vibe. You know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But I feel like Adam is like more interesting because Tommy's here. The rest of us can really go home. You know?
Adam's great. I mean, I think like the thing that makes Adam so interesting is that he's not a stereotype at all. Like he's not trying to fit, like he was never trying to fit in any trope. Like it's like, no, it wasn't like Adam was like the smart one or the cool one or like it felt like, and because of that, he was more complex by default because he had to just kind of be like a normal person that could like multiple personalities or like, I mean, like varying sort of like
any person.
Yeah. Like just a normal person. Because like you think about Zach and it's like, I love Zach. But obviously Zach had to like saddle a lot of representation, you know? And it's not like Adam didn't have that kind of he didn't have that sort of responsibility.
Yeah. And Zach had, like you said, everyone in the beginning had either the nerd, he was like dancing. So it's like always a dancing pun or
break dancing, something about that. Yeah. It almost makes it seem like Adam takes being a Power Ranger very seriously compared to other people, you know? Yeah. Anyway.
Adam Talk. The best.
Adam Talk. Yeah.
Look at
this is our post more phenomenal podcast Adam discussion.
Yeah.
It's like
After Hours Adam.
After Hours.
We call it Gabbing about Adam.
Yeah.
That was good.